He appeared on the show Swamp People and then ran afoul of the law. Andrew received 2 tickets because he did not tag an alligator. Imagine devoting your entire life honing your alligator hunting skills in the swamp, only to have your path cut short by an unexpected and terrible disaster. The people who live in swamps idolize King Troy Landry, who has gone on several alligator hunts. His life had taken a surprising turn, leaving him and his loved ones to lick the wounds. We examine the Landry family's fight with personal tragedy, loss, and tenacity today, uncovering their secret story. As a 3-generation alligator hunter, this is the route Troy has followed at his most trying moments. The fact that Troy Landry was a TV star wasn't always true. Troy was born and reared in the marshes of Pierre Part, Louisiana, and comes from a long-running family of hunters. He always saw hunting alligators as more than just a job, an ancient custom that has persisted for many years. Troy's father, commercial fisherman Duffy Landry, taught him the importance of taking care of the environment and working with it. Troy's bravery, talent, and now iconic catchphrase, "Shoot 'em," captured the attention of History Channel viewers when the show Swamp People debuted in 2010. He was instantly adored, and because of his bravery and deep understanding of the region, was named King of the Swamp. Troy's success has always been based on his love of his nation, his family, and heritage. Over 14 years have passed since marsh dwellers became enthralled with Troy Landry's famous hunts in the Atchafalaya River Basin. Due to his exceptional ability to track down and catch the largest alligators in the planet, he has gained notoriety in Louisiana and elsewhere. Food collecting from the marsh, his family's survival tactic, developed into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. When Troy developed a close connection to his heritage, it was a turning point. Troy's birthplace in Pierre Part, Louisiana, is where his family's 6th generation of alligator hunters got their start. For Troy, hunting gators was more than simply a job. He claims he had no choice because it was in his DNA. Troy's vast knowledge of the swamp and his exceptional ability to anticipate the future made him far superior than the others when it came to alligator hunting. And I'm ready. Count to 3, please. You're right to try to get on the boat. Troy Landry was born into a family that placed a higher emphasis on tradition, hard effort, and a strong sense of patriotism than anything else, despite the fact that viewers may have believed he rose to fame fast. Troy grew raised among the marshes of Pierre Part, Louisiana, and the bayou had a big impact on him. The practice had been a part of the Landry family's history and tradition for 5 generations, since they had survived on the abundant but deadly alligators of the marsh. As a young lad, Troy was shown the ropes by his father, Duffy Landry. Swamp folks didn't just show up by accident. It came from years of tradition, a relentless work ethic, and the wisdom gathered from the family company. Producers on the History Channel asked for more than just real alligator hunters when they made their casting calls. They needed someone whose survival hinged on the swamp, whose whole life was entwined with it. Troy and his family were able to assist, thankfully. Recognized as seasoned hunters who appreciated a healthy alligator population, they were a perfect fit. Troy was the most adored character on the program, which put the Landry family in the spotlight when it debuted in 2010. People all around the nation listened to his slogan, "Shoot 'em," as they experienced the thrill and challenges of the chase. The genuineness with which Troy acted on TV, however, resonated with audiences far more than the famous lines and the high-stakes battles with giant alligators. He was actually inside the part, unlike other performers. He was a true alligator hunter, his boots were covered in dirt, and he loved the country. Troy took pride in showcasing the nuances of the profession, while also highlighting the thrilling moments of catching large gators. His skill set extended beyond simply capturing the animals. Their biological role, habitats, and habits were all recognizable to him. In addition to his hunting endeavors, Troy also operated a seafood distribution company, which further illustrated his versatility and deep understanding of the swamp economy. Troy maintained a connection to his modest origins, despite all the attention and opportunities. It was the swamp that became his home, not just a location for a TV show. In their dual duties as hunters and land stewards, the Landry family braved the treacherous waters of the Atchafalaya Basin throughout the series, demonstrating their unshakable devotion to each other and the ship. When Troy was not in front of the TV, the glitz and glitter of the show had no place in his life. Staying true to his origins, he continued to operate his family's crawfish ponds and shrimp lines. Troy's tenets were mostly the same throughout the several seasons of Swamp People. Take care of your family, put forth a lot of effort, and respect the wetlands. It's hardly surprising that he connected with the audience so strongly. Not all he was a TV personality. He stood for tenacity, power, and legacy to the Bayou people. On the other hand, spectators saw that Troy appeared less frequently as the seasons went on. Many started to speculate as to whether the Swamp King had actually given up hunting. It was a far more complex and terrible reality. Troy would always be there for his family, no matter what. However, he surmounted a number of personal challenges that impacted his spirit and well-being behind the scenes. Troy was a source of encouragement, since he persisted through difficult times. Even though he isn't as active as he used to be, his children, Jacob and Chase, nevertheless associate the Landry name with alligator hunting. The Landry story is a timeless testament to the importance of heritage and the unbreakable bond of family, demonstrating the necessity of pursuing one's goals in spite of setbacks. To capture the rich culture of the Louisiana bayous, filmmakers looked for authentic alligator hunters like Troy Landry while casting for a television program on the region. The Landry family received great recognition from state wildlife inspectors for their careful hunting methods and commitment to abiding by all laws and instructions. The fact that Troy and his family were hunting alligators even before the cameras began to film is likely unknown to many people. These were more than just jobs to them. It was an old custom that had been upheld for long. Troy was first uncomfortable about being followed by cameras. The idea of having private moments with his family aired live made him uncomfortable. Troy considered the opportunity presented by the performance to be a lucky break, even if the country was still reeling from the economic downturn. The Landry family was able to keep their firm afloat during those challenging economic times, thanks to the production's financial support. It was a lifeline that kept their livelihood intact and opened doors to new economic ventures, such as endorsement deals and lucrative partnerships. Troy had a greater influence the more people heard Swamp People. Apart from collaborating with Savage Arms on the Landry signature rifle, he founded Crankin' Crabs, a seafood enterprise that generates an incredible 6 million pounds of crab annually. Additionally, he began looking into other ventures. Even though Troy is well known, he remains grounded, and often attributes his success to the work ethic fostered by his family. Despite his newfound fame and wealth, Troy has stayed true to his roots, which is something that many love. It is evident that he has not given up on the traditions that shaped him, because he still depends on fishing and the selling of alligators for revenue. In addition to being a renowned alligator hunter, Troy has also dabbled in other commercial endeavors, such as working with Savage Arms to produce the Landry signature rifle. Due to his accomplishments, namely his involvement with swamp dwellers, he currently has a net worth of over $2 million. Despite his fame, Troy keeps a low profile, claiming that his success is due to the knowledge his forefathers have handed down through the marsh. Besides his successful hunting business, Troy has other notable commercial ventures, like the 6,000 pounds, 000 a year cranking crab business. Diversifying his sources of income has allowed Troy to hedge against the unpredictability of the alligator hunting seasons. His business has also enabled him to establish connections with both local and national businesses that see the potential in his non-traditional lifestyle to appeal to a certain market, people seeking outdoor and adventure products. According to reports, Troy Landry's fortune exceeds $2 million and is derived from a number of sources. Alligator hunting continues to be his primary source of income, but he has built a solid network through a number of collaborations and commercial sponsorships. Troy's income from hunting is not the only source of his wealth. His work on Swamp People has also brought him lucrative partnerships, including brand marketing, item sales, and even cross-promotions with companies that provide outdoor wildlife-related products. He made a fortune by combining traditional hunting methods with innovative marketing approaches and by having a keen sense of business. Troy has made progress, but there have been setbacks along the way. The cost of alligator hunting increased after the recession, so Troy had to make a choice. He readily acknowledges that without the financial support provided by the Swamp People production team, his family's business would have probably struggled to survive. His story serves as an example of tenacity. A setback at first seemed like an opportunity for significant development. He has talked extensively about the show's ability to keep his family from going bankrupt and to allow them to follow their passion. Troy's modest, family-friendly way of life and skill in alligator hunting have won many more admirers over the years. His sincerity is what attracts Swamp People admirers, as is his enduring relationship with his loved ones and modest outlook on life. Despite his recent decline in TV appearances, Troy remains a famous figure with millions of fans following his work in his personal life. Because of his unwavering work ethic and ability to balance family and fame, he distinguishes out on reality TV. The way Troy follows ethical hunting practices sets him apart from other hunters. To keep alligator populations stable and preserve the swamp ecosystem, he enforces strict regulations, including the 30-day hunting restriction. More than just doing the right thing, conservation is taking care of the ecosystem and the animals who live there, according to him. Conservationists and sportsmen alike admire Troy because he has utilized his position to make a difference as a voice for wildlife conservation and an advocate for ethical hunting. Troy Landry's career was defined by his incredible achievement of collecting 82 alligators in one day, which left onlookers in awe. On a typical day, Troy may catch 40 to 45 gators, so catching twice that many was an amazing accomplishment. His demonstration of his skill at this precise moment served as a metaphor for the excitement and unpredictability of marsh life. However, such completed accomplishments are not without risk. Troy's dismissal of a minor wound from a gator's teeth is an example of how used he is to the dangerous nature of his work. In alligator hunting, his supporters were both amazed and concerned for his safety, since he demonstrated the delicate balance between success and risk. Family has always been Troy's life's focal point since he and his wife Benita got married in 1981. Troy is a passionate patriarch. Brandon Landry, whom Troy considers a son in every sense, has two biological boys, Chase and Jacob, with Troy as his stepfather. He has a close relationship with Benita, his gospel musician partner and high school teacher, and they share a lot of hobbies. He loves and respects her. Renowned for her achievements, Benita has won several awards during her career and been nominated for Grammys. Their house and family, which they have built together, are based on love, hard work, and tradition. They eventually obtained their dream home after years of living in a trailer, thanks to Troy and Benita. They adore the outdoors and the natural world, so they used cypress wood to build their new house. It is a symbol of the family's perseverance and commitment, not just a house. Troy and Benita may pursue their culinary talents in the house's two kitchens without having to compete with one another all the time. The Landry's home will be a focal point for important occasions and the continuance of long-standing family customs, since it has enough space to house all of their family members and friends, including their 3 boys. The victory of the Swamp People has not, however, been without its sorrows. His fan base has been worried and speculating since Troy's departure in past seasons was noticed by viewers. The severity of the crisis was being greatly underestimated by onlookers. Troy had been fighting prostate cancer at the time. Even though Troy's prognosis was terrible, he faced the issue head-on since he was always a warrior. He underwent surgery to successfully remove the cancer, and he has been battling for his health ever since with the support of his loved ones and supporters. In order to reassure his supporters that his father was still very much alive and well, Jacob, the son of Troy Landry, took to social media to dispel rumors that the king of the swamp had passed away. Many fans provided words of encouragement and related their own experiences with cancer, which resulted in a massive outpouring of support. The tragedy Troy experienced weighed hard on his thoughts, even as the world watched him hunt alligators season after season. For Troy, though, overcoming adversity is nothing new. Several of his children, including Jacob and Chase, have continued their hard work in the marshes. Yet the pain of loss follows every quest. Although Troy has suffered heartache, he has always found strength in his family and heritage, and the swamp has always been his home. Through this tragedy, the Landry family will be deeply impacted. Even though Troy has continued to hunt gators and appear on swamp people, he has suffered greatly emotionally. Many have noted Troy's gradual shift in manner, which was formerly nonchalant and quick-witted. His greatest strengths are now his hunting skills and fortitude in the face of unimaginable sorrow, driven by his family's love and the memory of those he lost. Troy has shown incredible resilience despite all of this. With the steadfast support of his children, Chase and Jacob, Troy continues on his path, prepared to continue the family tradition. They carry on a family's legacy of representing the swamp and helping to manage the gator population in the Louisiana River Basin. For Troy, his family is the most important thing. With his loved ones' assistance, he is finding ways to continue despite the pain and uncertainty. His daily focus now is on surviving and honoring the family tradition he has worked so hard to uphold in the marsh. Whether facing a 12-foot gator or unforeseen obstacles in life, Troy Landry has never given up. His influence on people living in swamps went way beyond catching gators. It's evidence that resilience, family, and the natural world can triumph over any challenge.